On to your health now this morning, everybody. So teenage screen time and social media use are on the rise since the onset of the pandemic. And the negative fallout for teenagers can be pretty serious. Jess Weiner, host of podcast Dominant Stories, is here with some tips for parents looking to make sure their teens' feeds are clean of that negativity. Jess, good morning to you. Coming to us this morning, I understand, from NYC.
NYC. I'm hoping that the noise outside isn't too bad for us this morning.
Oh, no, it's always great to have you. And I think this is such an important topic to dive into because, you know, it's so important for parents to monitor their teens' behavior online.
Yeah, you know, Melvin, there is a new report out from the Dove Self-Esteem Project that reports that 1 out of 2 teenage girls say that negative beauty advice, especially online, is really harmful for their self-confidence and self-esteem. And I think that might not sound surprising right away, but if we think about it, that's half of our young girls who are online are deeply impacted by the advice and the negativity and the harmful beauty standards that they see. And what's really interesting is that while parents are also on a lot of these same social media platforms, the algorithms are serving them very different content. So I don't know if parents are as keenly aware as they need to be about what their daughters or their kids might be experiencing. And it has some really dire consequences to the confidence and self-esteem of these developing minds.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, so the question is, how do you help your teen detox their social media feed?
Yeah. Well, first of all, we should all be detoxing our social media
Come on,
feed. Really
say it again, girl.
Right? I mean, like, I do this on the regular too, and it is really helpful. I think the thing is we have to remember we feed the algorithm that gives us content by by watching what we watch. So if you want to shift that, the way to detox your feed is delete people who don't make you feel good when you're following them or have questionable advice. Or certainly for young people, parents can ask their kids, how do you feel when you look at that? Do you notice yourself being more critical of your body image or appearance? Do you compare yourself more? Because I think sometimes kids need to put together the effect and the consequence of that action. And then it's very easy to mute. I love this advice. You mute somebody for a week. If you don't miss their content and you end up feeling better, delete them for good. And that's how we really detox the feed.
That is so good. It's like you do a test. It's like you do a little test run, right? So you don't want to like overcommit and it's not overwhelming, but you just do like a week. That's so right. If you don't miss them.
And if you don't miss them, then it's a really good sign that their content wasn't feeding your soul or your self-confidence.
Right. And I just think this point that you make, Jess, about how this is not just for teens, but adults too. Because the reality is you know, I was talking to a friend, Jess, and they said, you know, I like this person, but their social media makes me not like them. Because sometimes the things that people post, it's like borderline assaulting.
Well, it's not reality, and we know that, but we spend so much time online. In fact, we know that girls even spend more time online than they do with their friends in real life, and the pandemic has had an impact on that. So if you think about it like wallpaper, those kinds of messages are around us all the time. They're fairly insidious. They can be very nuanced. So it's just really important that this is an opportunity for parents to talk to their kids in a way that's proactive and not judgmental. Because look, kids are not going to get offline. This is part in their DNA and their culture, their digital natives. But I think this is a way for all of us to get smarter about the impact of harmful beauty advice, especially online for teenagers. It's really disruptive to self-confidence.
Because I think one of the beautiful things about social media is that it does link us to people, to friends, helps us keep in touch with people, but there's also really great resources out there. Like I love cooking and food, and I follow so many, you know, chefs and food bloggers, but there's also, when you get into that advice space, which is the point that you're driving home this morning, it can be really detrimental to just how we feel about ourselves.
But that's a great question to ask your kids. Like, what makes you laugh? What makes you light up? What do you love consuming? Because instead of judging what they're consuming, let's just angle them towards the things that make them feel good. And I think sometimes that discernment can be lost on kids who might be following people others are following, or they might be thinking that this advice is normalized because we live in a culture with very idealized views of beauty. So it's just an awesome opportunity to interrupt some of that choosing and to say, just like you did, like, who do you love to follow? What makes you feel good? Let's do more of that than spending time focused on advice and people that don't make you feel good.
And that's such a great point. I mean, to consider what lights us up, like what lights us up on the inside, and go towards the light, not towards the dark, but towards the light, so you get more light.
Go towards the light, Melvin.
You're awesome, Jess Weiner. It wouldn't be Wednesday without you. It truly wouldn't be Wednesday without you.
Well, I love seeing you all the time, and thanks for having this convo. This is an important one.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being with us. And look, you don't have to wait until next week, everybody, to hear more from Jess. You can hear her right now on her podcast, Dominant Stories. that is brought to you by Shondaland. So be sure to check her out.